Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Get Inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanoku. We have another interesting show for you today. We'll be talking about turning your passion into business. You can join us by dialing 646-478-5589 or on Facebook, Get Inspired with Joyce, also on Twitter at Get Inspired WJOY. Our mission on the show is to hopefully encourage and help you or give you that push you need to launch out and take a leap of faith into what you believe your passion or your dreams are. I believe, and I always say, everyone is created by the Creator with a purpose in mind, and our life assignment is to figure out what our purposes are. So today, do you have a passion for something, or special talents or gifts, and how can you turn that passion into business? Our special guest today is the brain behind I'mShannon.com, a boutique consulting firm. Our firm provides writing and professional development training to aspiring entrepreneurs, established business owners, working professionals, and even students. She creates smart ideas into profitable and rewarding ventures. I mean, I can go on and on about this woman. She's a fantastic woman who instilled confidence, a can-do attitude to make things happen. As a matter of fact, it's impossible to spend 5 minutes with her, with this incredible woman, and not get some pills of wisdom. She has inspired me in so many ways, as she's none other than Shannon Baylor Henderson. How are you, Shannon? Are you there?
I am here, and I am fully charged. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you again?
I'm super excited for the opportunity just to speak with you and to speak with your guests, and I'm just enjoying this day that's been created for me to create something for someone else.
Oh, thank you so much for joining on the show. Thank you so much. You've been a blessing over the years to me personally. And, I want you to kind of talk to our viewers how it all started for you. So let's get right into it. How did it all start for you? You have a business of your own. You're an incredible woman. You do all these things. And how did it all start for you?
Pain, of frustration, and that thirst to find a purpose. So when I was 7 years old, I started my first company, which was Fanciful Phrases. And all I did was write custom greeting cards for family and friends. And once I felt that bug of entrepreneurship at that age and saw that I could take words that were in my head and my heart and make money from them, but also make people happy from them, I never gave up. But as I grew older, the pain of not finding what I needed or not fulfilling a purpose just pushed me to start a business. And that's essentially how it happened. There was a point of pain of not being able to do what I wanted to do. It was that frustration and not knowing not having the courage to do it. And then just that calling where God says, hey, I have something for you, but I need you to be ready to do it.
I have something for you, but I need you to be ready to do it. Now, because you said that, how did you know you want to be in a space whereby you will help people improve their business, better themselves, or even rebrand their business?
Nothing else felt right. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are very, very familiar with that, where you dibble and dabble as being an employee, and maybe you dedicate a very large portion of your life towards working for someone else, but it doesn't feel right. There's something within you that says, I need you to do a little bit more. And that's how I figured out that entrepreneurship was for me, because I did commit time to other companies, and it just didn't feel right. I wasn't being used properly. The one thing I want to stress to people is that it's okay to be used when you're being used properly and used for a purpose. But when you're not being used, you're just used to fill a seat or used to get a job done, that's how you know. How I knew. I knew that I was not fulfilling something. That innate feeling within me said, Shannon, you're supposed to be doing more.
You said nothing else feels right, and you just know that you're much more. You can do much more than the space you're confined in. So how challenging was it, though, for you to leave maybe your 9-to-5 job and follow your dream and your passion?
Oh, it was the biggest challenge ever. As you know, Joyce, I'm a wife, and I'm a mother to 4 beautiful sons. And the biggest challenge to me wasn't, what am I going to do? The challenge was, how am I going to make sure that they're fed? But I'll tell you a very, very true and interesting story, and I can guarantee you, if your listeners are 100% positive with themselves, they've been through this. But just as short of the story, I was telling my husband, I said, babe, I've reached that point. I got to go. Something is telling me I've got to leave this job and start my own business. And my husband, who's always been 100% supportive of anything that I've done, said, okay, well, do it. I said, well, not now. I'm planning for 6 months from this date to leave. And he said, okay, well, that's fine with us. We'll start preparing. Right after I said that, 2 weeks later, I got the itch. It was time to go. It was pressing on a nerve. It was time to go. I sat at my desk, and I prayed, and I said, God, if it's my time to go, and you got my back like you said you would, can you please just give me a sign? I just need a source of comfort to know that this is you speaking to me and telling me it's time to go. And, Joyce, when I lifted my head from that prayer, a group of people were walking by, holding a conversation amongst themselves, and out of that group of people, I heard, it's your time to go. The conversation had nothing to do with me, but it was my confirmation that what I was feeling and thinking was ordained by God, and it was meant for me to leave. So just that moment, that's how I knew I would face all of my challenges with entrepreneurship, because God.
And I see from what you're saying, you were sensitive. Even though you prayed about it, you were waiting. You kind of were hoping. You were hoping, and you were willing to. And that's how you were able to hear, I guess, get your confirmation from those people that had nothing to do with you. Really had nothing to do with you. That's just amazing to me. And you know what? Now that we're talking about, just you going for it. Pray to God and ask for directions. How do you go about turning your passion into business?
Well, I'll tell you that it's a matter of action. It's a matter of research and perseverance. And it's a matter of just wanting it. So the first thing is, doing the research and figuring out what is it that I want to do and why do I want to do it. And then determining, are you good at it? And if you're not good at it, just watching your competitors and figuring out what they do and how you can strengthen what they do. A lot of times entrepreneurs figure that they have to be the first and the best at something. No, entrepreneurship is really being smart about solving a problem. So it's that research portion. 95% of entrepreneurs, that action. What I want to tell you is that it's the inaction that's keeping you stuck. Your unwillingness to progress to the next step is what's keeping you stuck. So that action of taking all of those things in your journal and all of those discussions you've had with family and friends and all of those prayers that you've had with the Creator and moving, put one foot in front of the other and making that research and those prayers and those thoughts come to life. And then it's the perseverance. It's literally saying, I know the road is going to get rough. One night I'm going to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and it might turn into a couple of nights that I'm going to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But I know this is for me.
It's wow. It's interesting that you said, a couple of nights you may have to, have peanut butter and jelly sandwich just to make this happen. But how do you overcome that fear of I'm going into what I have no clue what's going to happen. I have no idea. Because I know even though you're having peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like you said, some nights it's not going to be easy. Some bills will go like unpaid, and they have to be paid. So how do you overcome that fear?
Well, if you're really super, super smart about it and you're financially prepared, you have your nest egg and you have that backup plan. But if you're like me and probably a large percentage of entrepreneurs, you bootstrap, meaning you don't have any assets. You don't have a bank account that has $10,000 or $15,000 into it that you can tap into. But you push past it by building a support group. It doesn't have to be like-minded entrepreneurs and artists. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a group of people who will allow you to cry on their shoulders and tell you how you push past it. It's really about the support. It's really about the people who believe in you. It's remembering where you came from. It's remembering how something you have done was once an idea on a napkin or a sheet of paper, and now you're seeing it unfold. It may not be profitable now. You can't have the vacation that you want or the steak dinner that you want, but it went from an idea in your head to something you see in front of you. And then next week, it's going to turn into a sale. And next week, it's going to turn into a referral. And then next week, you're on the radio. So just keep pushing and build your support group until what you have seen for yourself has manifested in front of you.
Amen. Preach, Pastor. Wow. Amazing. I love the way you kind of just, broke it down. And you know what? Then that's what you did in one of your vision boards events. And I really want to talk about that for a little bit. So from that conversation and coming to that event, I realized the essence of having the reason, of the importance of having a vision board. So tell us, our listeners, how important is this vision board, and what is vision board?
Oh, man. So a vision board is a very, very structured map of what it is you see for yourself. It's creative, it's technical, it's visionary, it's empowering. But essentially, if you've gone to pre-K or kindergarten, then guess what? You are fully capable of designing a vision board. What it is you grab some magazines and you grab some scissors and a poster board and you sit down and you think of what you want for yourself and why you want it or how it's going to make you feel. And you find pictures and words that confirm that. So if you want a beach house, pull out and whatever it is that you want, find those pictures, find those words, glue it to your board. But here's the most important thing. You have to put that board in front of you. You have to put it on a mirror, on the back of a door, on a wall somewhere, because when you see it every day, you believe it every day. You know why you're doing what you're doing. You know that every peanut butter and jelly sandwich you eat and every sale you make is towards that beachfront property. So that's what the vision board is, and it's just really my way of saying, hey, I started out with a vision board party, and I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I can tell you I can cross out some of those pictures on my vision board and say mission accomplished. So seeing is believing. When you see it, you put it into the universe. When you speak on it, you put it into the universe. And if you believe in the Creator and you believe that all things are possible through Him, you speaking it sends out vibrations into the universe, and the Creator and all of His beings work together to make sure this happens, because finally you've made a declaration that says, this is for me, this is what I want, and I'm telling you that if it's for me and it's what I want and it's what God has for me, then it shall happen. All I have to do is remember it. That's your biggest job, is to remember it. And that vision board.
Remember it.
Yep.
Wow. And, it just reminds me of the scripture that says, make the vision plain, write it down, and whoever sees it will run with it. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. I want to talk more about, events. Shannon does a lot of stuff, and I really want us to, kind of talk about it and how everyone could be a part of it, if you will. Before we get off here, I know we have a few minutes, I'm looking, and I really want to talk about, people who they already have a business and they want to kind of rebrand themselves, or, things are not going the way they want it to go. So I already have a business. How can I rebrand myself?
To remember is that a business is like a child. So you start off with the newborn, and then that newborn grows into an infant. But things happen along that process. You can't put that infant in the same clothing they wore when they were 3 days old. And as each phase of the child grows, you have to remember, I can't give you baby food anymore. I can't pat you on your back to make you go to sleep, and I can't hold your hand. So business is like that. You can't do the same things you've always done expecting a new result or being prepared to nurture this business through its growth. So what I want to tell you is, first, never stop growing it. Don't stop the business just because something's wrong with it. It's called repositioning. It's called looking at it and saying, okay, 2 years ago I did this, and now I'm not making money from it, or it doesn't feel good anymore, or people are not. Flock a wheel. You don't have to break it. You just have to kind of nurture it and roll it along. So what I would tell you is to look at it from the customer's perspective. Entrepreneurs, always treat yourself like your best customer. So are you giving service the way you're supposed to? Are you responding the way you're supposed to? Your customers are growing. Are you growing with them? Have you thought about new ideas to the same product? Let's say you make T-shirts. Have you thought about adding lace and ribbon and glitter? Have you thought about turning it into a tank top? Have you thought about adding pants? So it's not that you stop what you've been doing, you enhance it. You cannot get stuck. There's endless possibilities of what you can do. Test it out, see if it works, revise it. But by all means, don't throw in the towel. Just reposition yourself.
Reposition yourself. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So going back to, now that you've given us, for us, for some of us who wants to rebrand ourselves, so going back to, I'm going to have you just say, encourage someone out there that is, they want to launch out, but they don't know what to do, or they're a little hesitant or scared, or, just encourage them a little bit. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but I want to ask you, how do you experience self-discovery or self-fulfillment?
I experience it every day. Every day I'm learning something new about myself, and I pray for that every day. God, please show me something new about myself. And the other thing that helps with that is seeing it fulfilled through the people I love, or even my clients. My clients now will tell me, Shannon, you turned this around. Shannon, this was a great idea. Or Shannon, maybe you should consider. But being aligned with that, tell you, if you pay attention, I mean, like, I can't stress enough the power of paying attention. Your answer is right in front of you. I have been fulfilled by paying attention. Someone will say something, I'll be stuck in a rut, can't come up with an idea. I think I'm doing horribly in business. I didn't reach my sales goals. Something is wrong. And then someone will say something, and that light bulb goes off, and I do the thing I'm telling you guys to do. Take action. I'll write it in my notebook before I forget, and I will go home and sit around immediately. Pay attention. Don't be the know-it-all. There's always an answer surrounding you. So I get my fulfillment through that. I get my discoveries through that. I learn something new by listening to other people, learning from other people, asking questions, living through their experiences, and being there to encourage them. So the art of paying attention, of being connected to your purpose, of being connected to people, will help you become more fulfilled and learn more about who you are and what you were assigned to do the day you were born.
See, I told you guys, you can spend 5 minutes with Shannon. You'll be going like your light bulb will come on like 4 or 5 times. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And I want to talk about, what you're doing, all the plans. I saw you have another pumps event. I call it pumps event. That's my name for it. But you can tell us a little bit about it. And you have a fire event coming up. So what are several things that you're working on, and how can we be a part of it?
Sure. Okay.
That you want to share with us?
Oh, absolutely. We would need probably 8 hours to talk about all the things I have my hands into. But one of the two of the most important things to me right now consists of my fire parties and an event that I throw every 6 months or so called Pumps and Brunch. So it started last April 2013, and it's called Pumps and Brunch for a reason. When I would meet with my clients, most of them, of course, were women, and the way we would break the ice would be to compliment each other on our shoes. So I would shake a hand and say, oh, great shoes. It's a way to break the ice. And the second thing that I noticed is that we were always meeting during the brunch hour or the brunch hours. So what I did was I created this event that said, hey, women can be leaders, we can be decision makers, we can be moms and wives and everything and still look fabulous and still focus on us. Despite our roles, we can still gathering of women. You can be an entrepreneur or you can be an employee, a student, or artist. It doesn't matter. But we come together and we look fabulous in our stilettos, which eventually turn into flats before the end of the day. And we encourage each other and we learn about our net worth, what makes us valuable. Not the money that's in our account. That's something we talk about too, but how we contribute to the people we know, the people we don't know, to society as a whole, and to our purpose as assigned by God. And that's what Pumps and Brunch is. The next one was supposed to be in April, but it's been pushed back until August so I can make it absolutely as fabulous as possible. The second event is something I do called a fire party, and I'm looking for fire starters. So FIRE stands for you have to be firm in your beliefs, you have to be irresistible, you have to have resilience, and you have to be empowering. So you're a fire starter when you can ignite fire in others. You can ignite their firm beliefs in themselves. You can make them feel irresistible or irresistible to others. You can show them how to be resilient and bounce back, to be enduring. You have to push through and show them how to push through. So this Saturday in D.C., I, along with Michelle Thomas of Managing Your Solutions, are hosting a fire party. So come, learn how you can be a fire starter. It's not in network marketing. We're not going to make you go out and sell products. We're coming to say you have fire within you. Here's how you're going to ignite it in yourself and within others and become the flame you were designed to be. So those are some of the things that I'm working on, and everything can be found on my website at www.I'm, that's the letter I and the letter M, Shannon.com.
All right. I was going to ask you, to tell the listeners how to get in touch with you. And I'm thinking are you any other way we can get in touch with you since you talked about that?
There are millions. Honey, you can just jog down my street and knock on my door if you absolutely are compelled to. I might not have food in the refrigerator because I'm feeding 4 boys, but still. But the most common ways to reach me are through my website. Again, that's www.imshannon.com. You can reach me via email at SBH, as in Shannon Baylor Henderson, at imshannon.com. You can give me a phone call at 202-656-1205. And definitely, I think one of the best ways to learn about me is to follow me on Facebook, because not only do I talk about things that are happening in my business, but you see pictures of my boys. You see pictures of me in sweats at baseball games. I like to tell people when you work with me, you're working with all of me, not just that consultant, but the whole Shannon. I want you to get to know me.
There's
So definitely
Shannon.
find me on Facebook at Shannon Henderson. Just search me and I'll pop up.
Oh, thank you so much, Shannon, for coming on the show. We have a few minutes, but I just want you to, encourage someone out there who wants to, repackage themselves, like you call it, or they just want to start their home business. Can you, say a thing or two to just help them, give them that strength or courage they need?
Absolutely. I'm going to make it very, very easy to remember. No more excuses. That's on my website. No more excuses. You have been allowed enough excuses in your life. You have said, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't know how. I don't know when, where, or why. Stop it. All of those are stopping you from being the person, the great person that the authority, the ultimate creator has said, I gave birth to you. I am the one that gave the world the idea of you. I need you to do what you're supposed to do. So you have to stop making those excuses to leave this world, knowing it was just as simple as putting one foot in front of the other with ultimate faith and the ability to perform, and just do it. Surround yourself with positive people. Listen to positive shows like Joyce's show. Connect with me. Let's get you through it. Just stop making excuses. You can do this. You were designed and built to last. Just do it.
No more excuses. Just
no more.
Do it. Amazing. No more. Thank you, Shannon, so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much. I just told you, and you're like, you know what? I'm in. Thank you so very much. And I hope to see you again, too. I hope you come back.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you so much. And anytime.
Thank you so much, guys. This is all the time we have today. I hope you are indeed inspired to start living on purpose and working towards making this world a better place with your gifts and your talents. Like she said, no more excuses. You can do anything you want to do. You can go out and, just make that move, and I believe God will back you up. Till next time, please keep dreaming big. Go and impact the world around you. Remember, the Bible says God knew you. He knew us before we were conceived, and the thoughts that He has for us are the thoughts of good and not of evil, to take us to an expected end. I want to say thank you so much for joining us on Get Inspired with Joyce. And we'd like to thank our guests so very much today again for coming out. Shannon, you've been a blessing to us all. Thank you so much again. Until next time, I'm your host, Joyce Ejanako. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Take a moment right now and just appreciate my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You've been good to me.